What's up, everyone? It's me, Neema. Welcome back to another episode of Finding Neema Podcast. I'm your host for this evening, Neema, aka Neema. You can call me anything you want, because I don't give a shit. So, welcome. If you haven't been to, or if you haven't listened to any of my episodes before, I just talk about nothing. That's decently, I guess, entertaining for myself. And if other people enjoy it, then that's great as well. So this podcast, it is the 13th episode. So it's not Friday the 13th, but it is the 13th episode, which means I don't know what it means actually. I just don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just thought it would be cool to mention that this is the 13th podcast, which it is. It's been a great week for me. And by the way, this podcast is once again sponsored by nobody. I just burped again because I always burp on this podcast for some reason. Oh, here we go again. This podcast is sponsored by nobody because I am not famous and I have zero money. So please donate some money to me. I'm kidding. Don't do that. But if you want, I don't know. I might set up a Patreon. Would you be willing to send me a few dollars so I can upgrade the quality of these podcasts and the content I make? I don't know, just a question. By the way, I'm on Cameo. If you don't know what Cameo is, it's an app on on iPhones, anywhere on Apple. You can download the app. It's called Cameo, where people like me, who are content creators or influencers or celebrities, they can do personalized shout outs or like sing happy birthdays, like anything you want. If you just pay a small price. For me, it's $10 Canadian, so it's nothing. Honestly, I think I need to bump it up more because I value my time and my efforts way more than that. But just started out doing that, and if you want to shout out, because I've been getting a lot of shout outs recently. Requests for shout outs recently on my Instagram, and it got to a point where it just became too much for me, and it's a lot to handle all at once, and all these requests from people. I just thought, you know what? It's better I just go on this app and I tell people to go to link them to the Cameo app, so then they can just request and make a payment. So then I can just do it for them. And so it's that way. I feel like I'm actually getting work done, or I'm doing work, not just not that I'm wasting my time. It's just I'm just so busy already, and I could be doing so much more productive things with my time, and it's just it just became too much for me to just do them for free for people that I don't know. So yeah, if you want to go on Cameo, if you're interested in getting a shout out from me or like a happy birthday message, whatever you want, I'm here for you. I'm here to do it all. I'll sing for you. I'll sing a lullaby. I will read a poem for you. Anything you want, you can request and I'll do it. $10, baby, $10. Might bump it up to 15 soon. I don't know. We'll see. So it's a new week. It's a good week. I had a good week this past week. Ran some more sprints. I've been running sprints with my brother. Trying to get more into physical shape, working on my mental health as well, developing better habits still, and working on my relationships. It's been tough getting up in the morning still, and actually the hardest part for me is going to sleep still at a proper time. It's been such a struggle for me to sleep, even though I've been taking magnesium pills to help me fall asleep and to actually get tired before I actually go to bed. And it has been working, and I've been tracking my sleep with an app called Sleep Cycle, which is actually really good, and I highly recommend it if you want to see how your sleep is like. It just shows you the quality of your sleep throughout the night, the amount of deep sleep you go into, the REMs, and just the cycle of deep sleep to being awake, and it shows you the graph, everything, and also it records how long you snore for. And it actually gives you the audio recording of your snoring, which is actually really cool. And I've listened to it many times. Actually, every time I've snored, I've listened to it. It's pretty cool. I used to, when I first started doing it, tracking it, when I was a little bit heavier still and I wasn't like seriously into my routine yet, I was snoring a lot more before. And I realized when I was much bigger, much fatter, and just like less healthy, I was eating bad and not exercising. I actually snored a lot more, like heavy, and I was like yelling in my sleep and shit. So it was just not a good thing to happen. But now, because I've been, actually taking care of my health and working out every day and eating healthy, watching what I eat, like not eating late before bed, drinking enough water, taking my vitamins, my pills, and not pills, my vitamins, and just kind of looking after my body and like stretching before bed and all this shit. I've been sleeping much better. I haven't been snoring at all, really. Maybe max 1 to 2 minutes total in my entire sleep. And my heart rate too. The app tracks your heart rate in the morning you wake up, and it tells you what your heart rate is. And when I first started tracking, my heart rate was at like 8 in the 80s. It was in the 80s, like resting heart rate, which is insane. Like that's too much, too high for just waking up in the morning. So now it's an average at like 60, 65. Yesterday was like 58. Today was 65 or something like that. So it's getting better, and it feels good. It feels good when you see results. And see, my whole life first of all, I obviously haven't been taking care of my body most of my life, majority of my life, because I've been fat. I've been overweight. I've been fat, obese even throughout majority of my life up until even now. Like I'm still considered overweight and fat, right? But at least I'm taking care of myself now. And throughout the years, I have tried diets and shit like that. But like in general, I've always been used to, like having like a spurt of motivation for like a few days, and then all of a sudden like something bad happens, and I just immediately I'm like, oh well, this sucks, and then I resort to eating food. I eat my feelings, which I understand is such a big thing in society in general. I know a lot of people who do the same in different ways, and I never really thought about it in terms of like it could affect me in the long run. I just kind of was living too much in the moment in a negative way. You know what I mean? I always just thought about, nah, man, fuck it, like this one time, and then this one time turned into like a few times, and then over a week, and then a month, and then a whole fucking year, and then 25 years of my life, just making excuses of, nah, man, oh, well, this shitty thing happened, so I guess I should just order Uber Eats and eat $100 worth of food that could feed 4 to 6 people, but I'll just eat it myself because I'm a fat fuck. And I did that so much in my life, and it did not benefit me in any way. I've been struggling up until this point, and I've been dealing with the consequences now and the past few years of trying to like eat healthier and trying to lose weight in general, and it's just been so tough. But at least now, that's the thing. Before, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea how to be healthy. I never was taught this. I never learned it. I never tried for myself. Like really, like all these factors came into play, and I just kind of gave up on myself. I gave up on myself a lot, and I didn't like it. I don't like seeing myself. I don't like looking in my mirror and I'm like looking at myself in the mirror and seeing a fucking ogre every time I looked. Right? It was sad. It's depressing, right? So I totally understand. That's why I have compassion for people who go through this shit every day. And I understand. I totally get it. I know why people do this. And I'm here to say it's because of your why. It's your purpose. I didn't know. Oh, fuck. My headphones almost ripped off. Jesus Christ. Stay on. I didn't know my why. I didn't know why I was trying to lose weight. I just kind of thought, oh, well, this is what this is what has to be done in order for me to be healthier. So that I just kind of like did whatever I could to lose weight, but it was always like a crash diet. It was a crash course, and it never fucking worked. It always failed. And then I gave up after like a few months each time, where when I would not lose the same amount I would the previous day or previous week, and I'd lose motivation. I'd be like, oh, well, it's over. I guess I'm done. How the fuck am I going to get skinny now? And I just kind of gave up on myself and didn't think about the long-term process. I just thought about the short-term, the immediate response, which is always the wrong answer. Always be looking. It's something Gary Vee actually says. It's literally on my phone as my wallpaper, my lock screen picture. It says micro patience, micro speed, macro patience. Which means micro speed means be just doing a lot at once in a day, getting shit done. And then macro patience is being patient in decades, like looking forward to your future, like not not obsessing with just in the moment, you're also thinking about 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line. And so I started realizing, I'm like, yeah, it just needs, it's not even a diet. It can't be a short-term thing. It can't be like a milestone. It can't be like there can't be a timeline. This has to be a lifestyle change. And so I made it happen. I fucking I made a lifestyle change, and I told myself, if I don't lose this weight, if I don't get healthy, if I don't stop eating junk food, if I don't stop eating sugar and carbs and this and that every day or every other day or whatever, this will happen to me in 10 years. I will get fucking cancer or a disease or infection or something, like something bad will happen to me inevitably. Okay? No one's immortal, and I'm clearly not living my life to be lived till I'm 90 or 100, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made sense at all, but you know what I mean. The life I was living at the time, I was not living it like I was going to live until I was 90 or 100. I was living like I was going to live for maybe 50 years. And I don't want to do that. I want to live till as long as I can. Until I literally can't move, and then just shoot me. I don't care after that. I would love to live. I only want to live until I can't do things for myself anymore, and then I'll completely be satisfied at that point for someone to come and shoot me in the head. Just finish me off. Finish him. Why would anyone want to be taken care of like that? I don't want to be strolled around in a fucking wheelchair and be fed food like I'm a baby. If when the day comes, and I cannot move anymore for myself, and someone needs to help me to do something basic that I otherwise could do on my own in the past, I don't know, 60 to 80 years of my life, shoot me in the head. At that point, finish me off. Shoot me in the head, slice my throat, beat me until I'm dead, because I don't want to live. I don't want to live like that. Who wants to still be alive? I don't care. No one I know will be even alive, or I can't even see anyone at that point anymore either. I can't even talk. What the fuck is the point? I'm a vegetable. Okay? I'm not saying if you're a vegetable, I mean, this is super offensive, I guess, but I'm not saying if you're if you're young and you're paralyzed, or you can't do things for yourself, then kill yourself. I'm just saying for my own personal preference. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all to, if you want to live, that's great. I don't put it past you. If you like that and you're okay with that, then by all means, do you, boo. Do you. I love you. Do your thing, baby. But for me, I don't like that. I'd rather just die. As sad as that is, but it's there's no, for me, I just don't see a life where I could just be happy and live it anymore. That's the whole point of life, is to live through it and just do things that you like. I wouldn't enjoy just sitting here all day, not being able to express my thoughts or feelings, or do what I want and eat what I want, or talk to whoever I want and do things on my own, go to the washroom, basic shit. Why the fuck would I want to be alive? I don't know. Maybe that's too harsh, and people are completely turned off and hating on me right now. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I actually got, speaking of hate, I got so much flack this week. I got a lot of flack, a lot of hate from a lot of people this week, because people were just pissed. The videos, the past couple of videos I made about the pandemic and people going to patios. I roasted the guys first. I made a video roasting douchebag guys who go to patios as soon as stage 2 of the pandemic opens up. Stage 2 means people can start going out and in groups of 5, but you still have to wear a mask and all this bullshit. I'm making fun of people who just want to go out and spend their fucking government money, even though they're broke as fuck and they could be using that for something better that could benefit them in the long run. They just spend it on drinks and cocktails and Serb bottles. We call it Serb. I call it Serb bottles. I'm gonna trademark that shit, because that's what it is, man. You're spending money that you got from the government, which is Serb, I don't know. I forget what the acronym is. But it's CERB in Ontario, at least that's what it is. Because if you're not from Ontario, then you don't know what CERB is. CERB is government funding money that we get from because of the pandemic. We can't work, so we get like $2,000 a month from the government, and they call that CERB. So I'm making fun of these guys who go to clubs, or not even clubs, like to patios. As soon as the government says, okay, it's stage 2, people are safe to go out in groups of 5 now. Like you don't have to just be quarantined. And then as soon as that happens, these fucking douchebag Guido dudes go to patios with no masks on, spending their fucking CERB money to get drinks for what? To look cool in front of people they don't care about. And so that got reposted on a big meme/news page on Instagram called Six Buzz, and it got so many people were pressed. So many people were pissed in the comments, but a lot of people loved it. Like majority of people obviously got a laugh at it, and they completely relate, and they think it's funny because, well, obviously I'm a comedian, so first of all I'm just like exaggerating and just being trying to be funny, but there is some truth behind it. But that's the whole point. As a comedian, I'm here to entertain, but also sprinkle a little truth in there, man. Otherwise, what's the point? Right? And that's the thing. If you're getting hurt by what I said, then clearly you have some more to think about, because that's some truth you need to uncover for yourself. You're only hurting because I'm spitting facts, because I'm spitting the truth, bro. Okay? So maybe people should look more within themselves rather than talk shit and talk down on somebody else like me, who's just a comedian and making a funny video, micro content. But once again, I put it out. I put myself out there, so I was ready for the consequences or the backlash I would get or whatever. Not even backlash. I don't give a fuck. It's something I think is funny, and I deeply, truly believe in what I said, and I'm totally against people going to patios during a pandemic and not wearing masks. Is that so wrong? No. I think that's completely logically fine. Well, I personally wouldn't take myself to a patio and drink, spend money spend money I don't have to buy drinks I don't really care about just to be out because I'm bored. No, dude, I have so much shit I could be doing every day. But you want to go on party on the fucking patio drinking CERB cocktails like a douche. And so that was the first one I did, and like it blew up, whatever, did well, and like good response, good engagement. And it was really funny. And then the week after, so a few days ago, I did the girl version. And this one, women were pissed off. Women were not happy. But it was still a great video, and a lot of people laughed too. Like a lot of people enjoyed it and thought it was funny. Obviously, just like the other one. But more people were pissed about this one. And it was especially like more women. And that's the thing, like people, once again, it comes down to context. And I always talk about this, because some girls or women who saw that video that got reposted on Six Buzz again, and that's the thing, they reposted both my videos in that span of a week. So most people who hated on me or what I said only saw the women video I made. They didn't even know there was a guy one. So a lot of the comments from these women were like, just say you hate women. Oh, wow, like misogynist much, and like why do men hate women so much, or why do men feel the need to shit on women? We already go through so much, and blah blah blah, or like just a lot of comments saying like incel, and like, oh, you should go join an incel group. This is disgusting. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, wow. First of all, I'm laughing at all these comments because I'm like, you know nothing. First of all, you probably don't even know I'm a comedian, and if you do, you don't have a sense of humor, and you don't see how this could be fucking funny. And also, if you're mad, then that means I'm talking about you. You're the one that's being roasted right now, and you don't like it, and I love it. The fact that someone doesn't like the fact that I'm being truthful about them and describing them perfectly, I love that shit. It gets me off. It gets me going. Because I know I did something right. I know I did something then. I know I triggered a response. Something, you did something right when there was a little bit of a controversial feedback, and I'm all for that. I loved it. So, but that's the thing. Like, I can't blame some of these people too, because they just think I'm just some guy who made a video shitting on women who go to patios. And that's the thing. People just like to jump to conclusions and take shit way out of context, because a lot of the comments too from these women were like, oh, they're like going after my looks and shit. And like, I'm like, okay, first of all, you're a douche, you're a fucking asshole. And like, obviously you talking about my looks says a lot more about your character than mine. So eat a dick and fuck off. But also, what I want to mention is some of these women think that I'm just some guy who's just saying hateful, quote unquote, shit about women that go to patios. But first of all, no, I love women. Okay, I love all walks of life. I don't give a fuck who you are. Okay, this is a comedy video. I'm just roasting people. I don't genuinely feel hateful towards any of these people or places, whatever. It does obviously get me a little bit pissed, or I can get frustrated if people want to go to patios during a pandemic. But people think I'm just talking shit about girls who go to patios in general and want to have fun. People are like, yo, what a fucking buzzkill. Like, well, you don't like having fun? Why I can't have fun with my girls or with my friends? I have to I can't live my life? I'm like, no, I never said that. Okay, that's the thing. People don't like watching or listening to the entire video, and they just like, as soon as they hear something they don't like, they just like stop and they jump to conclusions like, nope, I have my mindset. This is what it is. You're a fucking this, you're that, you're a scumbag, blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about women who go to patios specifically during a pandemic, where it's not necessary for you to go out, because the real reason you're going is not to just drink syrup cocktails, is to take pictures for the gram, because you've been stressing over the past 4 months being quarantined at home because you can't show your fucking ass and your titties to anybody, so you have to go out. That's what I'm talking about. And usually the people who are fake and like they're all about the looks and materialistic. I don't give a fuck. I don't like those. I don't like those people. I don't care. They have no personality. You have no personality. What do I want to do with you? Nothing. So that's just my explanation on that. I don't know if anyone cares, but that's just how it is. When as a comedian, as a content creator, there's all these shit I have to deal with people attacking me in my comments and my DMs. Who just are majority of the time, 95% of the time, people are just misunderstood. I'm talking about me. Like, people just misunderstand people like me who make these videos. They just want to fucking attack someone because they're mad at their own lives and they're unhappy. It's not my fucking problem. Water break. ASMR. You like water? Do you like water? I like water. Is this weird? I think this might be weird. If you're listening to this and you're creeped out, I'm so sorry, but this is fun for me, and I'm gonna keep doing it because it's hilarious. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm gonna stop. That's bullshit. Guys, I've been farting a lot. I know this is a quick change of subject. I was farting a lot today and yesterday. I was, why the fuck am I farting so much? And then I realized my brother, he made for dinner and like lunch and stuff. This guy made like a pound of broccoli filled with garlic. And I realized, yeah, vegetables make you fart. And I ate a lot too. And so all night, last night, and all day today, I was just been farting up a storm, tooting and pooting everywhere I go, just fart, farting, bro, just farting. It feels good though. It feels good. But it feels musty at the same time. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, I don't know. That's why. But that's what happens when you eat veggies. But veggies are good. Eat your veggies. Don't be weird and don't be a loser. Eat your veggies. Okay? Trust me, they're healthy for you. I want to talk about shitty jobs, because I've been talking. People have been asking me about like, I just like recently I've had a couple conversations with people about like shitty jobs we've had in the past, and I think I talked about. I don't know if I've talked about a couple of these stories on here before. Maybe I have. Fuck, I don't want to repeat a story, but I've had a couple of shitty jobs in my past. I've gotten fired pretty much every time, or I've quit and then I've gotten fired a couple of times. But I've worked like I'm so tired. Nice little singing break for the boys. I've worked a lot of crazy, shitty jobs, and my first ever job was at Pickle Barrel. It's a restaurant called Pickle Barrel. Shitty name, change it. And I was a busboy, so I was pretty much just call me a bitch. I was everyone's bitch. I was a busboy. I was a busboy at this place, and man, that was such a shitty job. My managers were dicks. They just like asked me to fucking clean everything, even though it is my job to clean stuff. But I was like, man, I don't want to clean this shit. Let me just walk around with this bin and put plates in it every so often. And so one time I was bus. It was such a busy afternoon. I was the only busboy at the working. Oh, what the hell is going on? Why do I have hiccups? What the fuck? And I was working, and do you know who the worst people are? Kids are the worst. Fuck, I don't know, hiccups. Kids are the worst at restaurants, especially because they have no boundaries. They just don't care. They just want to look at people. I'm trying to hold my breath because I got hiccups, and I don't want to edit this. I like to keep it raw. I like to keep it raw, yeah. I like to keep it raw. I like to keep it raw. All right. Hey, who made this fucking beef? It's raw. Can you believe it? It's fucking raw. I don't like it. You're gonna make it again. You animal. Are you an animal? Gosh, fuck. Really? It's fucking shit. It's really fucking shit. Gordon Ramsay, yeah? So, anyways. Conor McGregor. They call me Conor McGregor. I'm fucking idiot. You know, I fucking meet your family. Fuck the Mayweathers. Okay, so I was working and it was such a busy shift. And then, like, my manager was like, yo, go clean the fucking urinals. I'm like, what? I'm a busboy. I'm trying to clean the dishes, pick up plates, and sweep the floors. I'm not gonna fucking clean a urinal. Are you out of your mind? And then the kids are the worst because kids at restaurants are animals. They're actually evil. They'll just like they just literally their job is to come into the store, into the restaurant, sit down, yell at the top of their lungs, cry at the top of their lungs, and as soon as the food comes, throw the food everywhere. They'll eat a couple bites and just chuck food everywhere and smash it everywhere, like throw a fit, start crying again. Like, shut the fuck up, kid. There are so many times where I just want to slap a kid for being so loud and obnoxious at a restaurant. You don't belong here. And also, it's also the parents' fault too for not managing their kids properly and not raising them properly. Those are the ones who are gonna be spoiled brats who go to patios during stage 2 of a pandemic. Yeah, so they're just annoying. Anyways, but I'll tell you about the time I got fired from my job. I worked at Domino's. Sorry, well, actually, okay, I'll talk about Domino's real quick too. But I didn't get fired from Domino's. I just quit. But I'll tell you a funny story about when I worked at Domino's. I was working the line where they put the toppings on the pizzas and they pass it on. And then I was still new. I was like 2 weeks in. Another yawn. Sorry. So I'm on the line and it's a rush hour and my boss is on the end and there's 2 other people between me putting sauce and the cheese on the pizzas. And the boss is like saucing making the dough and whatever, passing it along. I'm putting the toppings on and it's rush hour. And I'm like going fast as fast as I can on one of the toppings, and I'm putting 2 at once. I'm like going hard on both pizzas. I go to pick up both of them, and I slip, and one of them fucking goes flying in the air. And the other one, I still have my hand. I put it on the table, but the other one flies, splats on the ground. Full large pizza, just like done. It's completely out. Boss fucking gets pissed. He's like, "Hey, Neema, what the fuck you doing? Okay, gosh, okay, give it to me. Okay, make it again. Hey, make another." And I'm here like, I don't give a fuck because I hate working minimum wage jobs. On the inside, I'm kind of happy because I'm like, yeah, fuck it up, fuck it up. And then he moved me to the oven after that. He's like, okay, and he called me Rocky for some reason. Hey, Rocky, go to the oven, work the oven. So I go to the oven and I'm manning the oven now. And it's just a stressful day in general, obviously, as you can tell. I'm manning the oven, and my job is to take the deep dish pans with the clippers and put them onto the table so I can cut them and put them in boxes so we can send them out. So I see two pans coming at the same time. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take both of them. Fuck it. I grab two of the clippers. I grab both the ovens. And as soon as I grab both of them, I'm about to take them off. My boss calls me. And I look back. And as I'm turning to listen to what he's saying, I accidentally like shift my arm. And one of the pans smashes onto my arm. And it just makes a sizzle noise. That's how fucking bad. And my arm is still like, there's a scar there. I don't know if you can tell, but I have a scar on my forearm still. This was 6 years ago. And I dropped both the pans. I started yelling. I'm like, because it was burning like crazy, but hot out of the oven. Imagine a steel pan just blazing your skin. Like, so, and it blistered up like crazy for a few days. And then, and the scar's still here, man. It's like 6 inches long. And I quit right after that because also the boss is like, you should just quit, man. I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I should just leave. Fuck this place. But, you know, it is whatever. But I'll tell you about the time I got fired. So I don't know if I told this story on here. If I did, I'm so sorry. You're just going to have to skip through this and wait for the next podcast where there's new shit. But I think I told this somewhere. I don't remember where. I know I did it on my Instagram Live. It's just a new joke that I've been trying to do. And it's just a funny story. But I don't know if I did it on the podcast. But anyways, I'm going to say it. So I worked at a place called Harvey's / Swiss Chalet, which is, I think it's only a Canadian thing, both of them. And so, because I live in Toronto and it's a Canadian company, both of them, Canadian franchise restaurants. Harvey's is like a hamburger joint, and the Swiss Chalet is like chicken, rotisserie chicken, like whole chickens, fucking, festival, family type dinner foods, right? So I go, I get hired at this place, and it's a takeout place. So it's like a mix of Harvey's and Swiss Chalet. So they make Harvey's food and Swiss Chalet food, but it's like takeout. So it's like more express. My job, first day, my boss is like, okay, so you're gonna be manning the oven, the rotisserie chicken, like rotating oven, the convention oven, where the full whole chickens are twisting on these knobs in the oven. And so my job is to take them out and cut them up into 4 sections, portions, put them in the boxes, do some more shit, whatever. Bro, tell me how. Okay, first of all, this is the fastest I've ever left a job, voluntarily or not. But I got fired, and it took me not even 2 days. It was like a day and a half. So the first day, I was just, my job was just to be on fries, putting fries in things, and just watching people, and which was very simple. But the next day, this is where I get fired. The next day, now I'm on oven. I'm on my own oven duty, and it's just me in the kitchen at the time, and another guy working the fryer and the burgers, flipping the burgers. And then my boss is like, actually, he wasn't even in yet. I think he was in the office at the time. Bro, tell me it's rush hour, right? I open the oven. I'm about to take out my first chicken on my own. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to take this chicken out? Like, is there no like oven mitts anymore? Because I was like, you think logically, you're like, okay, it's a full chicken, fully roasted. It's an oven, so it has to be hot. It's at least like 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so it must be blazing hot. So there has to be oven mitts somewhere, right? No, there were none. You know what else? You know what was there to replace oven mitts? Fucking plastic, thin, thin ass plastic gloves that serve no purpose. Like the ones you literally like that you wear for the pandemic to go out and do grocery shopping. Those type of plastic gloves that serve no purpose. Like I might as well should have just wet with no glove, just use my bare hands to take out this chicken. So this chicken is ready to come out, and I'm stressing because I'm like, holy fuck, how am I supposed to? This glove is not gonna help me at all. This is so hot. So because I have to grab the pits on the ends, which is the metal part, which is even hotter. So I go to take it out, and what you're supposed to do is you take it out and you put it on the table next to you, and you squeeze it off and like get it off the pit so you can like cut it up, right? I go to take out this this chicken, and I've never touched it before, but I know it's hot. It's gonna be hot, but I just never touched it before. I go to touch it, and I go to grab it. I go to pick it up out of the thing, and I grab it as it's in my hands, and it's in the off the rack now, and it's in my hands. It's so hot. Again, I'm like, nah, fuck this. And I just panicked and I dropped the whole thing. I dropped the entire chicken, entire whole rotisserie Swiss chalet chicken, nice and marinated and glazed. Full thing dropped on the ground. Gone. Gonzo. Done. And I was like, for a second, I was like, does 5-second rule count here? Or is this, the restaurants operate differently? Because if it were me in my house, I would pick that up right away and eat it still. But this is a restaurant, so it might be a little different. So I left it, and I was like, oh, fuck. Ah, shit. and I knew I was gonna be in trouble. But luckily, like, no one saw at the time. But like afterwards, the other guy, the employee who was working the burgers, flipping the burgers, he turned around and he saw. He's like, oh, fuck, dude, what happened? And I was like, oh, shit, man. I'm sorry, bro. It was too hot. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, do you see these gloves? Might as well be wearing no gloves. Just going bare hand, grabbing shit. So I'm like, how do you guys operate? This can't be the norm. This can't be a normal regulation in the back of a restaurant, in the back of a chicken restaurant. You can't not have oven mitts. Or at least like have like another like a stencil or a fucking tool to pick the chicken out of the oven. How are you expecting employees who get minimum wage, might I add, it's like $12 at the time, you expect me to grab this chicken out of the blazing hot steaming oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, grab it with my hands like I'm a fucking barbarian who has no sense of touch in my hands, my nerves are all just fucked, and I just put it on the table and just squeeze it off like it's nothing? Are you a robot? You're a fucking robot. You have no sense of touch. And so I dropped it and I was like, oh fuck. So then I had to like put it in the garbage because it was done. And then the boss came in and he's like, hey, what happened here? And I had to tell him what happened. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's some like Macedonian, like older, like white dude, and just like a hardworking guy. I'm a hardworking businessman. I work like this. I make no excuses. Blah blah blah. He was a fucking dick. And so now he's like, okay, I'm gonna watch you now. So I'm like, fuck, here we go. So I dropped one chicken out the bag. Now all this pressure because now the boss is staring at me. So I go, I'm like, okay, well, and I asked him, I was like, are you sure this is okay? Like these gloves really don't do much. He's like, just grab the chicken. I was like, oh, all right. I go to grab it, and like I bitched out. I was like, I just couldn't do it. I wanted to see him do it, or like at least I want to make him feel bad for the fact like, yo, this might actually be a little bit hot for somebody to grab onto with fucking useless gloves. And so I go to grab it, and I'm like, sorry, I got it. And then like before I could go and try again, he's like, okay, stop it. Let me do it. He goes, bare hands. Okay, this is how you do it. You grab it like this, you see it, and he holds it up like he's showing me like a logo or something. Just wasting time holding it with his bare hands. I'm like, put it down, sir. I can see the smoke coming out of your hands. It's blazing. He's like, this is how you hold it, okay? Like this, and you put it on here. You grab the chicken like that. You see that? You see that? You grab it. You slide it off slowly. Boom, boom. You see it? Pit, chicken. Good. Okay. All right. You got it? All right. I was like, no, I don't got it. And so now he takes out another chicken. I was like, okay, I want to see you take the chicken off the pit now. I was like, here we fucking go. This should be easy, right? At least I don't have to grab it out of the fucking oven anymore. He takes out another chicken, whole chicken. Takes it out, puts it on the thing. Now he passes it over to me. And I'm like, okay, it's still fucking hot, but whatever. Okay, it's a little bit more cooled down now. I go to fucking, because I saw him take the chicken off last time. He just went like this, and he slid it off the pit. It's on the table now. It's good. I did the exact same thing he did. I hold the top of the pit, and the chicken's in the air, and then like it's like on the table at this point. I grab the chicken. I'm like, okay, like this. And he's like, yeah, okay, go, push, a little harder. I was like, are you sure? Because I was like, this doesn't feel right. Like it's gonna fucking fly. He's like, just push harder. I was like, okay, all right. So I go like this, and I push a little bit harder, put a little bit more force. And as soon as I push a little bit harder, it goes, and it slips so fast, it fucking slides off the table, smashes into the freezer, like on the little fridge door, and plops on the ground, and just in front of everybody, in front of him, everything. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, whoa, sir, you told me to do that. He's like, no, not like that. Fuck. He was fuming, dude. This guy was so mad. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. And 10 minutes after, he's like, can you come to my office? He's like, yeah, so this is not going to work out. We're going to have to let you go. And I was like, yeah, no, I completely understand. He's like, yeah, leave the hat too. We need that. It's like, fuck, I really like this Harvey's hat. So, yeah, that's the story of how I got fired. Maybe not so interesting, but I thought it was funny. And also, probably already talked about it on the podcast, but who cares? I don't give a fuck. Another burp. I'm gonna wrap it up pretty soon in the next couple minutes. I think I'm gonna do. By the way, I started a new podcast with my brother called Straight and Curly Podcast. I already mentioned in the previous podcast, but if you haven't listened to it or you skipped it somehow, I got a Straight and Curly Podcast coming out soon. It will be all over Spotify and audio streaming services. And if you're watching to this point, please make sure to go on my newest Instagram post and write hashtag Finding Neema Podcast. So I know you came from the podcast, and I'll love you forever. I know my boy Mike Poles is going to be doing that because he's a G. So thank you so much. I think I'm just going to finish it off here because I thought I had something else to talk about, but I don't think I do, to be honest. But if I think about it in the next, 10 seconds, maybe I'll talk about it. Yeah, I don't have anything. Okay, so, all right, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here. So thank you so much for listening and tuning in. If you want to hear certain things from me, just let me know. DM me, write a comment, email me, whatever you want, and I'll talk about it in the podcast. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to just finish it off here, and I'll see you guys next week on another episode of Finding Neema Podcast. So peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Have a safe week, and wear your fucking mask, and don't go to patios. Yeah, idiot. Okay, peace.
Even when the skies are gray, you know that you made my day. And I ain't tryna do no